As I get closer, I see that the top part of his holster has come undone. So now his gun is pointing towards him. Not only that, but as he's been waddling around, talking and ogling the yoga class that's been slowly streaming out of the door near him, the gun has now moved and made it all the way around to his back side, violently flopping up and down each step he takes. Now, I'm not a praying man, and I don't wish any serious harm onto anyone, but please let this big fat Chicago cop shoot himself in the ass. The season was almost over for the tour boats. One of my many jobs was giving the architectural tour on the Chicago River. Since it was late in the season, it was ridiculously cold outside. I was trying to keep warm in the concrete break room under Michigan Avenue. I was huddling as close as I could to an electric heater when my foot touched the cord. Sparks flew up from the cord and shocked me. I jumped back without too much injury. A few minutes later, I saw G walk by, the company's boat mechanic and general maintenance man. I figured that if anyone should be informed, it should be him. "Hey G," I said, "check this out. The heater works, but the cord is broke." I kicked the cord just a little, and sparks flew up again. I know that G was trying to be nice, but when he spoke, I could tell that he thought I was a complete moron. What follows is an account of what G told me, word for word. "Oh, yeah. You see, what you gotta do is, you gotta not hit the cord." And with that, he walked away. These last two short segments are slightly edited for content, this being a public access show, and therefore roughly suitable for everyone. I'm also willing to admit that these vignettes say less about Long Island and more about my family, and with that said, is most certainly not for a general audience. But I'll tell these anyway. On a family vacation in Long Island, I was staying in the basement of my first cousin, once removed. I was in the basement trying to stay out of the way that day because my cousin ran a business out of the main floor during the day. I was writing a letter when I heard a commotion upstairs. My cousin was yelling at his business partner at the top of his lungs. "Would you wipe your ass, please?" John, his business partner, replied, "Well, what are you talking about? Would you wipe your ass, please?" "Look, Randy, what are you talking about?" "Look, I smelled farts like that before, I know. Now in the future, would you please wipe your..." Standing on the back porch the morning after the main event of the family reunion is King, a friend of the family, getting her morning smoke. King is just over 5 feet tall, 70 years old, and not endowed with much of a neck. King is wearing an extra-large t-shirt that covers her down to her knees. Randy, hungover and not too happy with the world, is throwing beer bottles from the yard into a trash bag. King spots him. "Randy, where were you last night?" "I fell in the bushes, you stupid..."
Oh yeah! Wait, let's do a different Cats one. Cats can go in the summer. Cats can go in the summer. Just cats, not dogs or chipmunks. I can go in the summer with the cats. I just love them. I can go wherever I want. To the zoo, maybe. Or to the Africa. Or maybe to see something, to go to a movie theater. I just love cats. They can go wherever they want. Or dogs, they can go ho, ho, ho.
Since this episode seems to be veering in this direction, I'm going to let the narrative go on autopilot for a while, even at the risk of running over a few family members. I'm the youngest of 4, with Jason 4 years ahead of me, Amy 2 years ahead of him, and Greg another 4 in front of her. To describe our relationship, let me attempt to dissect the legalese of the phrase, "Don't take my place, chair, or anything of mine." This is what we announced anytime we got up for a short reprieve from the TV. Should you need to take a quick bathroom break, it's not enough to say, "Don't take my place," because on your return, you will have found your big, comfy chair moved to the other side of the room, with someone else in it, leaving you with your place intact. And if you were lucky enough to reclaim a seat, it wouldn't do the next time you got up to say, "Don't take my chair," because you would come back to someone sitting in a new chair and your spot so close to the TV, while your chair was thrown aside into the front hallway. So you must say, "Don't take my place, chair, and the obligatory, or anything of mine." An addendum protecting a whole manner of other footstools, blankets, food, or other desired objects up for dispute. Jason and I, being the 2 closest boys by age, were mortal enemies. One of our favorite games, and by our, I mean his, was him tackling me on the couch and suffocating me with a pillow until I let out the very last, loudest, and girliest death curdle I could manage that would mark the end of the match. Letting me up, I would run away across the room. At this point, Jason would throw a big pillow across the room, also known as the big pillow, that would knock me down and thwart my escape, and the game would start all over. Once while escaping across the room, Jason accidentally overshot the big pillow and it flew over my head, landing right in front of me. And of course, my awkward 7-year-old self tripped right over it. I'd like to say it was a one-time mistake, but my brother was able to replicate this move time and time again, much to his amusement. Another great game was called You Can't Hurt Me. This was less of a game and more of a challenge to my wimpy physique and smallish frame. It consisted of my brother getting in my face and announcing that nothing I could possibly do could ever hurt him. He'd always be bigger and stronger than me and could whoop my butt. During one particularly heated exchange, my brother was really trying to push my buttons and trying to get me to act. "You can't hurt me. Look at you. You're a wimp. I know you want to hit me." Wow, could he read my mind? I really did want to hit him. "I tell you what," he said, "I'll give you one clean shot. One shot. Right in the face. I dare you to hit me in the face. Come on, you puss. Hit me." As he cornered me, a well of rage sprung up inside. My tiny fist clenched, and I swung up, right to his face. His glasses went flying to the ground, and his head jerked to the side. Immediately I gasped and jumped back, half frightened because I actually punched him, and all frightened because of the imminent reprisal. My brother stood there. He looked down at his broken glasses on the ground. He touched his face and looked at the small drops of blood on his fingers. Then he looked me square in the eyes and said, "First of all, Mom and Dad are going to make you pay for those glasses. And second of all, that didn't hurt." And with that, like the little wimp I was, I burst into tears and ran away into my room. To say that Jason and my relationship was completely adversarial back then would be disingenuous. We had a lot of fun together. He did a lot of nice things for me during that time. Things above and beyond normal brotherly duty. When my bike would get stolen, he would go get it and bring it back. It turned out that he knew where to look and who to ask. Another time in junior high, I was playing down by the river with a skater punk friend. A gang of 6 or 7 kids rolled up on us and started throwing rocks. My friend jumped in the river and swam across to escape. For some reason, I just don't know, I stood my ground. The kids came up to me. "Hey," one said. "You're Jason's brother, huh?" "Yeah," I said. "Man," started the kid, "we got so drunk with him the other night. We were in your parents' Volvo, and we ended up on this real big road. We were on the airport runway.